Good day, traders. Hope you guys are good, and welcome to part three of our market interception series. So, without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. All right, let's quickly recap. In the last two videos, I spoke about how in the market we only have two parties: market makers and customers. Market makers are providers of liquidity in the forex market, whereas customers are the demanders of currency. I also gave a brief description of how their liquidity is an essential part in determining price behavior. So basically, in that video, I explained how prices are determined by the ratio of available liquidity versus the amount of orders from customers that are coming into the liquidity pool. So in the first video, we focused on market makers and what they do. Today, my focus will be on giving you guys a brief description of the role that customers play in determining prices. So let's dive into it. Customers consist of anyone who'd be interested in exchanging currency for different purposes, right? If you look at the screen right now, I made a list of people who are potential customers in the forex market. We have tourists. Now, we know that if you wish to travel to a different country, chances are you have to convert your domestic currency into that foreign currency for you to be able to purchase goods in that specific country. You have retail traders who buy and sell currency for speculative reasons. You have private banks, pension funds, and hedge funds, right? Who essentially buy and sell currency for different purposes. Like I said in the previous slide, different customers have different objectives. For example, we as retail traders buy and sell currency for speculative purposes. So you would buy the Australian dollar because you believe that in the coming weeks, days, or even months, it's going to appreciate in value, right? You are directly interested in the future prices of the Aussie. If you own a manufacturing business, you indirectly interested in future prices, right? Because if, say, for example, you live in South Africa, but you have a business operating in, say, Sweden, if the exchange rate fluctuates, it directly affects your profit potential. So you might not necessarily be holding on to currency because you believe that it's going to appreciate or depreciate, but the changes in the exchange rate directly affects your margins. And the same thing applies for other investment companies, right? If, say, for example, you purchased assets in the US, you make a return of 10% on your investment in 5 years. If the exchange rate increases by 10%, that means you're not going to be able to make profit. So the different objectives that customers have will also affect how they trade. All right. So, like I said in the previous slide, different objectives means that they trade in different ways, right? We have different types of transactions in the forex market or different markets. You can use transactions and market in this instance interchangeably, right? If you are interested in making straightforward transactions, right? That is you buying currency today for you to be able to use it however you want. Maybe you're a traderist or maybe you're a retail trader. You will make use of the spot market, right? But if you are not trading for the purpose of touring or for the purpose of speculating, and if you can be negatively affected by future changes in prices, you'll make use of these other markets. Why is this information important? We have this famous figure that people are throwing around that 5 trillion is traded on a regular basis in the forex market, or $5 trillion is traded daily in the forex market, right? What they don't tell you is that the majority of those transactions comes from these markets and not the spot market, right? So the vast majority of the volume that comes from customers in the forex market comes from customers who are trading for utilitarian purposes. The spot market is decentralized. So in this market, volume isn't reported because it's recent. As for the other markets, they are traded in a centralized exchange. So we have access to information about these kinds of orders. And because the spot market only makes up a portion, about a third of the entire Forex market, right? We can rely on these other ones to tell us where the bank orders are, right? So to facilitate those transactions, right, in the other markets, these companies use specialists. And what are these specialists called? They called bank dealing desks, right? So the job of the bank dealing desk is to trade on behalf of its clients in the interbank market, right? So what would happen is, let's say, for example, an investment company wants to acquire a business in a different state. What they would do is they would go to the banks and ask them to process these orders for them, right? And therefore, when we're talking about customer side orders, we're primarily talking about banks because they are the ones that control the majority of the customer side volume, right? So why is this information important? This information is important because if we can identify the patterns used by the banks, if we can know the volume that of the banks and which side they're trading, if we could know how much they selling, if they know how much they're buying, then we can make more informed decisions when we are trading, right? In terms of, I'm trying to understand their patterns. In terms of trying to understand their patterns, that's why we have strategies like smart money concepts, right? Which tell us where imbalances are, the sources of imbalances, the potential areas of liquidity, where banks are most likely going to go, right? But there is a more accurate way of telling where future prices are going to go. And this is through reading volume, right? Unfortunately, because of how this type of data is expensive, a lot of retail traders do not have access to it, right? But we have our charts, which is good enough, and we have the COD report. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about how you can use the COD report to tell where the liquidity in the market is, right? But yeah, that's where I want to end today's video. So before I end today's video, I just want to quickly recap. Customers are anyone who are interested in the exchange of currency, and different customers have different objectives. And those objectives dictate which types of market, or which types of transactions they're going to engage in, right? Most of the transactions in the markets are facilitated by banks. And so if we want to make more accurate predictions in future prices, we have to follow the banks, right? But yeah, that's all I have for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please smash the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you when I drop the next video. If you liked it, please smash the like button also because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, peace.